Okay, so the next thing that I have to do is I've got to do a water pump on this. So we're gonna loosen this screw, and this little pin rotates, so you can see, and that's what disconnects your shift pin. So we're gonna have to do that, and then of course we'll take a few things off. Down here we're gonna have, 4 bolts and probably a bolt that's underneath here. Maybe, if I can feel it. Maybe not. Okay, it's the next morning, and I've got my pin released. You can't see it, it's down here. It's too dark. Anyway, for the shift shaft. So what I need to do is drop this lower unit and do this water pump. I've got so I just need to drop this and do his water pump. So it's pretty simple. I'm gonna start. Just use a regular ratchet, I think. See what it is. Like I said, like a lot of this motor seems to be metric. I could be wrong. See, like that's a half. Seems maybe slightly loose. Let's see what a 13. Actually, the half is tighter. Definitely not a 12. Let's just go with this half. This will just crack. I've got a little wobble you can use on those. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I think some of the stuff oh yeah, they got it. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, it won't matter. Seems like that cracked pretty good. Let's see. Oh! Yeah, that's not too bad. So there's no bolt in the front. It's just the one in the... these 4 bolts, it looks like. There's no bolt up here. And he's missing his, what do they call them? Trim tab. I don't think I have one. The other thing that's weird, it looks to me like, that doesn't look like he's got this on right. Huh. You have to look at that. Well, anyway. Look like this cowling he doesn't have on there real good. I don't know. Guess, I thought about it. I told my cousin Jimmy I should tell some Leon Russell stories. Like the first time I met, well, I got called for the job back in the day, and he has a farm up there up north. Well, he had a farm up there north of Gallatin, and I went up there and met his son, kind of showed me his rig, showed me, you know, asked me a bunch of questions. I guess he was, you know, curious if I knew what I was doing. But now, anyway, his name was Teddy Jack. Teddy Jack, he lives in LA now, but he was named after Gary Busey, which Gary Busey, you know, he used to go by the name Teddy Jack Eddie. So Gary Busey was Leon Russell's drummer back in Tulsa. And Gary, you know, he moved to LA. I guess he played drums for Leon, or Leon brought him out there. I'm not sure the story behind that. They were good friends, or, you know, I think Leon always thought he was a little annoying, but he's a good guy. And so anyway, Teddy Jack, he was named after Gary Busey, I guess, or something like that. That's his godfather, I believe. So anyway, I met Teddy Jack out at the farm, and he just showed me Leon's rig, and kind of, anyway, I got the job, and so we're, you know, Leon had a couple shows that weekend. So a couple days later, I met them back at the farm with the bus, and away we went. But it was weird because, I mean, we almost never like left out from the farm. Well, which way did I do that? Let's see if I can do this. Wow. Somebody got her on there good. Yeah, she wouldn't fall right away. Yeah, we left out from the farm, which is a weird deal because we almost never left from the farm. We always, at that time, Leon had he had a spot at, used to be the old Prevost shop, which is, I think Taylor Swift owns it now, but it's just below Diamond Coach. But it had a parking spot that had power, and it had a water hookup. So like if we got to the bus or something, you know, you could stay on the bus whenever we got in. You didn't have to worry about leaving, because so you could sleep in if we got there early or something. Anyway, almost never left from the farm. Always left from Leon's, you know, from Prevost dealer. But I guess what I was going to tell you about that was, like, Leon used to pull, it was a box truck, 16-foot box truck behind his bus. He's the only guy I know that did that. And that box truck had like a fork on the front of it, and it had a drive shaft disconnect on it. And I can't get this bolt out of here. It's being stubborn. And anyway, he pulled it behind his bus, and I got a bunch of stories on that. A couple times, you know. One time it came loose at a truck stop. Another time, there she goes. And the water tube's going to come with it, which is fine. That's how that old guy comes off of there. Yeah, I'm going to set it somewhere. Set it in my, what am I going to do? It has it set up. Yeah, I can't. One time the welds broke on that front deal, and it just move this out of the way. It went up in a Peterbilt yard, and I had Grant, our bus driver, woke me up and said, "Hey, get up! The bus, the truck came loose from the bus." I'm like, "What?" Yeah, sure enough, it did. It came loose. And we had one other time where he woke me up and he said, "Get up!" He said, "The truck's on fire." The truck, and I'm like, "What?" We're running out there, and the back axle had seized up, and yeah, it was on fire. It was like the truck was on fire. And it was a weird deal because right before that, I threw a couple of old fire extinguishers because I was like, man, our truck doesn't have a fire extinguisher one in there. So I found some old ones at the farm, and I just threw them in the truck. I gave one to Grant because the tire went out in the desert and caught on fire, and he was putting that out. And the other one I was putting out the fire right by the truck, which was right by the gas tank. So I don't know, man. It was a crazy deal, but we got it fixed and we got out of there. But there's one of my Leon stories. So he's the only guy I know that would pull his bus, or his bus pulled his truck, or pulled all the equipment in a truck. And I guess the big deal with that was he thought that, well, if he needed to go somewhere, then he could just jump in his truck and he could go. And anyway, he had very unorthodox way of doing stuff. I would come to find out later on, because most people would just pull a trailer. Of course, he was like, I probably did pull a trailer one time, but I don't think he liked it because then, he couldn't really get around. He had a hip problem, so he told me once that he fell off a piano one too many times, and so he had a kind of a hip problem. And anyway, yeah, so he was a funny guy. Lots of people look at, they loved him, but that was a weird deal. We had this big oak ramp that we'd pull out every day, and that ramp, we'd ramp down all the gear out of the truck. I had one occasion where we played this place, what was the name of that? It was in like Brooklyn. And I walked in, and there was like, it's like an old movie theater, so you walk up one side, and there's some stairs, and then there's like a landing, and then you go up around the other side, and there were stairs, and then, you'd come out where there was like, that's where you get your popcorn and all that stuff. And then, I met like the owner, and I'm kind of like going, how do you load in this place, Anyway, he was like, "Oh, it's great. We just come right through here." I'm like, "Man, I got an 800-pound keyboard rig." But he said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to get a bunch of Italian kids from the neighborhood, and they'll come in here and they'll get all your stuff in." And I'm thinking, there's no way, this is not going to work. And but it was funny. Those kids made like this whole come-along deal and a human chain, and they got all that gear in there. And of course, I was like, man, I better be nice to these people because we may never get out of here. But yeah, we did that show, and it was pretty crazy. I mean, it was like 3 flights of stairs, and they 3 flights of stairs down to the stage. Sorry if I'm talking a little funny. I got a tooth that's kind of bothering me, but that's what we did, and you know, did the show, whatever. You know, old Leon with his. Oh man, we'd have to hook that truck up to the bus every night. You know, it was like with his gig, nothing was ever done. And I was a one-man wrecking crew, so yeah, I road managed and ran sound and everything. I mean, we did everything really, I come to find out we did everything really crudely, you know, because later on I would go work for other people, and we, you know, everybody still pulls trailers with all their gear in it, and you know, but generally, like, for everybody has a hotel room for the day. You know, they have someplace to go besides what's at the bus, or they at least can go to a hotel room and shower up. So, you know, hotel room, you know, you might have a couple hotel rooms that was for everybody to shower in. Where Leon, we just had he had a shower on the bus, so there was only so much water. So what we do, we take we turn the water on, get wet, lather up with soap, you know, turn the shower on briefly to get rid of all the soap, and then shampoo, whatever. And we had our own towels. So if you were out for a few days, you had to kind of use the same freaking towel, you know, or you had to bring your own extra towels. So he was a true hippie in that regard. It's like, you know, he could have put in his contracts that he required a hotel room, but he wouldn't do it, you know. And he really, honestly, afterwards I look back at it, and he didn't charge enough money. He probably didn't know that, but he didn't. He didn't charge enough money. So, you know, if he'd charged a little bit more money, he could have taken care of us a little better. I was young. I didn't know any better, so, you know, it is what it is. But that truck was, it was a real kind of, like, it was convenient at times, but it was kind of a real pain. So I just took out, sorry, should be showing you guys this, but just took out the 4 screws. Let's go ahead and pull this. Well, I guess it's all going to come up as one. And that sounded like something. Alright, well, it doesn't look bad. It does have a lot of memory. There's our little piece for that. But yeah, that does need to be replaced. It was, now, let's note, so this is definitely, if it was like that, this is definitely a clockwise rotating lower unit. You can see the fans were going like this. So we need, on this engine, I needed to make note of that because that is important. So let's see what he's got for a water pump. Alright, so he just got an impeller kit, which is fine, I guess. And Impeller kit. So impeller replacement kit 4785089Q4. Get this guy open. So there's our new impeller. They give us a new key. And looks like they give us a new plate, washer. Okay, so they give us some stuff. Alright, so first things first. Let's do this. This is this new rubber O-ring. Boy, this is really, really I usually like to start okay, we're gonna leave that, but let's maybe get let's get a pig. Sorry, thinking out loud here. Get a little pick and get this O-ring out of here. Throw that away. And I'm just gonna go around the edge of this. See if I can't get some of this crap out of here. Well, cut myself. I'm gonna take some cleaner, clean this up. Maybe. No, that's empty. Alright. Well, don't take much. Clean this out. That cleans her up. Still got a little. Just want it to seal good, you know what I mean? Alright, so there's that. So there's the old impeller. I could just throw this all in the old kit, of the new kit, case. And we're going to take this up. Maybe. Yeah. There it goes. Alright, so we got one of those little plastic O-rings are going to go here. So make note of that. And then we're going to have to get our gasket up. Use our little knife. Well, I've had a lot of people call me in the last few days, and there's a lot of people that just want stuff done for nothing, you know. I mean, I'm glad I went up in my price, because I just got tired of people trying to take advantage of me, you know, my kindness. And it's like, man, it's really amazing, like, today, like, how people just want something done for nothing. Not everybody, I mean, I'm not lumping everybody into this, but, like, when it comes to these boats, man, it's like, I'm trying to run off the riffraff, because, and I'm not really hardly advertising, but I've just got over it. It's like, you can only get taken advantage of so much, you know. I'm just trying to make a living like everybody else, but it's like they think, well, he's just a guy working out of his house, so I'm not gonna pay it. Well, you know what? Go to the shop, because the shops are gonna charge you $160 an hour is what I found out now. That's the hourly rate here in Nashville. I don't know what it is like where you're at, but $160 an hour. That's the price of what everything is. So, you know, I was like, well, I'm gonna charge $100. I'm still $60 an hour less than they are, and you know, talked to some other people and they thought I was kind of crazy. Like, that's too much, and I'm like, yeah, it is. It's a lot, but I mean, man, I've got to buy food, I got to buy gas, I got to do all this stuff, and it's not cheap. And it's like, this is barely covering it, and then I'm getting all these people that are crazy. I mean, they literally are crazy, like a lot of them. I mean, some of my recent customers that let me do work are great. You know, like the guy that was the firefighter, thought he was great. And my last customer, Casey, was awesome. You know, I got most of everybody that I've done work for lately has been great. Last year, I had a few customers that I just was like, who raised you? You know, I had one guy, he was trying to beat me up, and, you know, like, he came over and just threw, like, driftwood in my yard. You know, and he was like badgering me about the price, and badgering me about, like, he had his boat, man, the transom was, I mean, he was about to lose his motor off his transom. So I like repaired it, and even then it was pretty cheap. And he was just like not happy. No matter what I did, he wasn't happy, you know. And I finally lit into him. I said, man, a guy that, you know, he finds out, and I showed him, like, where his transom was about to fall off, and he was about to lose his boat. And I repaired it. And it was because of the mounting, the way it was mounted. Man, no. You know, I was like, hey, you think a guy, when he sees that his transom is his motor is about to fall off, he would think, well, that's going to cost me some money. And he agreed to it. He agreed to what and I took care of him. And man, that really burned me. It really kind of got me ticked off. You know, that was kind of one of the last straws where I was like, yeah, I'm tired of working for these people that just want, you know, I'm just, because I'm a guy over here, they think they can just take advantage of me, man. You know, because I mean, I'm like a lot of people, man, I just go out of my way and try to help them. I'm just trying to help people. Man, he was just, he had an agenda from day one. And man, this is really bad over on this side. Let's see if maybe we can get a different angle here. Probably I hate this when the gasket goes like that, they won't come off. It really kind of is a bummer. Anyway, like I said, man, probably 90, I don't know, what would you say? I'd say about 98% of the people that I've done business for, done work for, have been great. I mean, they've just been awesome. But then there's these one or two, and I'm just kind of now where I'm like, man, I'm not taking your work. It's not worth it. In the end, it's going to be way more headache than I really want to deal with. You know? So, I had a guy call me this morning about one of them all 50 horsepower. I even sent him to my website, said, or to YouTube, said, go check it out. You'll see, man. I know what I'm doing on these. You know. And he was just like, when I told him that I was going to do $100 an hour, he freaked out. And he was just like, well, I got some other calls, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. There's not another guy within 250 miles of Nashville that even works on the old stuff. And if there is, I don't know him. You know, oh, I know one guy. So I take that back. I know one guy, but he won't work on any of the old Mercuries. He's like, I don't really like those old distributors. I know one other guy, and he pretty much don't work on them either. He's kind of like, he feels it out. Like, if you seem like a good dude, he'll work on your stuff. But if he thinks you're kind of an asshole, he won't touch it. I'm going to put this O-ring in here. It's got to loose. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to take some grease, because, see, that's going to just fall out. Stick some grease in there, maybe that'll help it like just stay in place. Yeah, so that works for that. And we're going to take our gasket. It's going to go on like so. So that's not going to work. It's got to flip around. It's going to go like so. So the holes line up. Let's see here. And 50-50 shot. Alright, and it looks like there's our so they give you two. We only have one. Let's do this. So looks like one nylon washer on top, and then we're gonna have our new key. Get some more grease for this. Because it doesn't matter which way on this impeller, so we'll just slide it down, we'll slide it in there like that. I like to just put silicone lubricant on it. It won't hurt the O-ring. And then we'll put this, it's going to go down like so. And I'll take a pair of vice grips. And that's that. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to take and put some grease on all our bolts. Now this isn't 2,4-C, but it's just red tacky. It's marine grease. You don't have to do this, but I mean, it will help it in the long run. So that it won't, you know. Let's see if I can get this started here. I'm sorry if I sound like I was bitching, but I'm not. I'm pretty thankful for what I have. But it's just funny, like some people, man, they are strange. It's like, I don't know why. It's just symptoms of our society these days. Really, all my life, everybody tried to get something for nothing. I mean, you have some people that are just good people. I guess it's a symptom of the world. I kind of want to just run these down and get them started. Yeah. I just did this just so I don't have to sit there and just constantly. Snug is all, you don't have to go crazy. And really the last thing, we just want to make sure that's not, the housing's not getting into the side of the, you know, like it's not gouging or anything like that. Alright, and then that's that. So, the only last thing is we're going to take this little piece, it's going to go down on here like so. And one other thing I noticed, what else did I notice? I thought there was a little rubber grommet that came off. Yeah, maybe I'm imagining things now. Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's it. Okay, that's it. I'm going to put it back on. It's going to go back on just like it came off. Yeah, that's it. Just make sure. But yeah, I think so. I think that's it. So, thanks for watching. Well, you guys, after I got that back together, the little grommet right here has a crack in it. So I just ordered a new pump, the housing and the little rubber grommet, which I have up here. Can't really, I guess I should show it. See how it's got a big crack in it? Sorry. It's got a big crack in it, so ordered another one because but we can use that impeller and that, all of that, so that's fine. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So until I get that in, I think I get it in a couple days. Can't put this back together. I guess I could, you know, it'll make it look neater anyway. So just wanted to show that. Talk to you guys soon.